Hey guys, this is Fang Slasher VA here coming at you with a new video, and in today's video we're going to be discussing Sonic Movie 3. So, if you all are excited for this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and definitely hit that bell button if you're new here. So yeah, let's get started here. Now, if people haven't seen the second Sonic movie yet, then all I gotta say is go and watch it if you don't want to be spoiled by the end scene with a certain black and red hedgehog being confirmed, and that black and red hedgehog being Shadow the Hedgehog, confirming the fact that the third Sonic movie is going to deal with most likely a adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2. Now, the thing with them doing that is that we don't know exactly what Shadow's origins is going to be. I do know that the main guy working on the movies and also the Knuckles TV show said that they're going to make sure that Shadow is faithful and he's not a joke. But that can just be, just be his personality that they're not going to change. Which, okay, fair enough. Now, what I'm hoping is that with them adapting Sonic Adventure 2 or adapting something from it for the third movie, I'm hoping we'll get a Shadow that's more closer to how he was in SA2 versus how he is now. I figured, us Sonic fans, we miss how Shadow used to be instead of this more Vegeta-fied version of himself. This meme come to life, basically. So hopefully they stick with how Shadow was in SA2. Now, obviously, we still don't know if Jim Carrey is going to come back to play Dr. Robotnik / Dr. Eggman. I hope he does, because in my opinion, you can't have Sonic without his arch nemesis. So for me, that would be a hard pill to swallow if they decide, oh well, Jim Carrey isn't coming back for the third movie. And, and I don't want Shadow to become the main antagonist moving forward. Because that's not who Shadow is at the end of the day. He's not a straight up villain. Yes, he had a villain role in SA2, but during the last story, he becomes more of an anti-hero, which is what he remained to this day. And we don't know if Amy Rose is going to be in it, Rouge the Bat is going to be in it. All we know for sure is that Shadow is going to be in it. Now, with that long prelude to what I actually want to talk about done, there are two things, there are two characters that needs to be a part of his story. And I think most of you will know the two characters I'm referring to. Maria and Gerald Robotnik. And if they really want to throw Sonic fans another bone, why not mention Black Doom? Why not? But with them going most likely for more of a Sonic Adventure 2 vibe, the whole Black Doom being referenced, isn't that big of a deal. Although it would be pretty freaking sweet if they did just name drop, like, Gunn went after, Or maybe like they spotted on the satellite this black comet or something like that. Because Sonic fans are going to know what that black comet is. They're going to know. I'm going to know. And I think it would make sense to maybe have that Easter egg in it. But going back to Maria and Gerald, they need to be a part of it in some way. Because obviously Shadow is in stasis. Obviously they are still calling him Project Shadow. And obviously they do mention how something, that he was unsealed after 50 years, which lines up with Shadow's lore perfectly. Now the thing is, the Sonic movies are, let's be honest, they are very kid-friendly. Movies can't exactly get away with what video games can, unfortunately. So, if they do decide to put that tragic backstory in, because at the end of the day, that's what drove Shadow for his goals in Sonic Adventure 2, without Maria being involved, then what's the point of having Shadow in the movie? You gotta have Maria involved, and Gerald as well, because both of those characters goes hand in hand with why Shadow ends up doing what he does in Sonic Adventure 2. You have Gerald, who created him. You have Maria, who is his best friend and basically sacrificed herself so that he could survive. And then Gerald ended up altering his memories into, instead of doing what Maria originally wanted, which was to protect the people of Earth so that they could be happy, Gerald altered his memories to be about revenge and to gather the 7 Chaos Emeralds to power the Eclipse Cannon. And obviously, as it turns out, the real goal of that is that the Bio Lizard will become unleashed. He attaches itself to the front of the Eclipse Cannon, becoming the final hazard. So that this way, they could basically destroy Earth. Now, obviously, as we all know, Amy helps Shadow remember what Maria actually wanted. It wasn't revenge. That's what Gerald wanted, because he was mentally broken because of what Gunn did. Here they approve of him to fund this Project Shadow, and they became too afraid of it. What did they try to do? They silenced him. They put him behind bars. And I would imagine they most likely RIP'd him, if you catch my drift. And with Maria, how are they going to handle her rip scene? Are they going to just imply it? No. Are they going to show Shadow holding her hand while running through the hallways, and then maybe you see like a glimpse of a soldier raising something up, and then they cut it to black? Maybe. Or are they going to ignore that altogether and just cut her out and just make Maria be this random girl that maybe takes care of Shadow that so happens to have blonde hair and blue eyes? A bit of a wink wink nudge nudge towards the audience. If they did that, I feel like a lot of Sonic fans would be extremely unhappy with that. because Shadow and Maria, along with Gerald Robotnik, and of course Black Doom as well, they all go hand in hand. Just like Dr. Eggman is also a part of that equation too, because Dr. Eggman was the one that, found Shadow and let him free on Prison Island. So, we know that someone woke Shadow up. Could it have been Robotnik? It's a possibility. Do I think it's Agent Stone? No. Because Agent Stone was camouflaged as a GUN operative, and they get the reports that someone activated Shadow. Or could they end up having Gerald be the villain? I mean, he was basically the true villain of SA2, even though he's more of a tragic villain. Could they end up having to where Gerald survives? It's a possibility. They could even have it to where it could be some sort of like evil AI thing to where like maybe Gerald upgraded, not upgraded, uploaded his consciousness to a computer. But again, I don't think Sonic fans would be for that. Because again, Shadow's story is very beloved by the fan base. So, this is what I want them to do. Show a live-action Gerald and a live-action Maria Robotnik. Have Shadow, and maybe like it's a flashback scene to where Shadow is kind of narrating it, kind of like he does in Shadow the Hedgehog. And basically have it, play with the whole Maria, I remember what I promised you. I promise you revenge. Maybe show a alternate take, a quote unquote bad ending, to where that's what Maria says, Shadow wants you to get revenge for me. But then maybe during the final part of the movie, show the actual or original thing that Maria says, which was, protect the people of that planet. So, basically what happens in SA2. Now, the question is now, who would trigger that memory? Because as far as we're concerned here, we're not sure yet if Amy Rose will be a part of the Sonic movie cast. Now, in my opinion, she should. Even though that she has her own team called, I do consider her a fourth member of Team Sonic. So in my opinion, I think it should be Amy that should still remind Shadow of Maria, to jog his memory of what Maria actually wanted. Now again, would it shock me if they had Donut Lord be the one to do it? Or maybe have his wife do it? No. I mean, we have seen of SA2 to where it was someone other than Amy being the one to jog Shadow's memory. And the problem is that a lot of people dislike Chris Thorndike, and that was probably one of the big reasons why if people didn't if people didn't dislike him already, when they probably saw that, that probably made them start disliking Chris Thorndike, or maybe start to dislike him even more. Now, for me, I don't dislike Chris Thorndike. Do I think that there were some things that they didn't need him to do? Yeah. It's called Sonic X. The show is about Sonic. It's not about Chris Thorndike. Just saying. And then, of course, that begs into question, if they do bring in live action Rouge, what is her role going to be? Well, I would imagine it would be very similar to her game counterpart, but the thing is that if you take out Rouge and just have Shadow and Eggman be one to do the damage, I mean, Rouge, like what? She didn't really do much in SA2. Yes, she helped steal the Chaos Emeralds in the vault. Yes, she helped she helped them track down Tails. Other than that, and of course she also helped them during the last mission as well. But other than that, her role in that game was to be a double agent. Now, she could end up playing the same role. But in my opinion, if you replace Rouge with someone else, you're not really missing much in my opinion. Although some Sonic fans may actually disagree with me about that. Because at the end of the day, Sonic Movie 3 is not going to be a one-on-one adaptation of SA2. It's going to be very different, maybe with very similar themes. And maybe similar scenes. And I unintentionally rhymed. But yes, in my opinion, Maria and Gerald should be involved in the story. And they should not cookie cutter them at all. If they need to bump up the rating to where they can at least imply that Maria got, well, if you know, you know. Because again, that's a big part of Shadow's character. You know, there are ways that they can do it to where it's not graphic. I mean, in the freaking Sonic games themselves, what happened to Maria, and they didn't show all of it. There's ways around it. And I'm sure that they've probably already figured out what they're going to do anyway. I'm sure that the movie has already been written, and I'm sure that they'll be already filming it. So, anyways, you guys, that's it for this video. Let me know what you all think down below in the comments. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video.